In the previous video, I talked about how I had a very unsuccessful therapy session and I did not want to, you know, kind of take the time and do more of that in the nearest future, you know, because it's so time consuming, it's so expensive. You have to talk about your deepest fears and insecurities to a new person every time until you find the one, you know. I listen, there has been a lot of discourse online, at least, you know, from what I've seen, about people getting a therapy from ChatGPT. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't I did not actually feel skeptical about that at all, because I understand how these things work, and I understand how it could be massively helpful. So I have seen a lot of people debate this online and like kind of like weighing the pros and cons, and how a lot of people absolutely hated the idea of, you know, other people using ChatGPT to get advice or like sharing your personal things. But at the same time, I think pretty much every single therapist who commented on this said nothing but really positive things, and said that, you know, like, yeah, ChatGPT can be really unbiased. Well, it is unbiased, and it is going to kind of like break down your problems and might give you very unexpected kind of like angles on your problems and solutions. Some people felt really angry that it just validates you. And I do find interesting that people get angry about that. Yeah, because I did talk about this in my previous videos, like how you should like learn to validate yourself and your own feelings and your emotions. But I do understand that you are, if you are an extremely unhealed person, if you are, you know, like really struggling and you are completely unaware, like self-unaware, you can do crazy things and you can say crazy things to people, and you think that, you know, everything that like you can feel very entitled, and you can feel like there's only you and everyone else around you should adjust, and, you know, be very mindful of your triggers and be very cautious of what they say to you, and should only be very nice to you, and only be extremely supportive. People can be different, and that's okay. So I'm kind of assuming that the people who will be watching this video are not the kind of the extremely self-unaware, narcissistic, egocentric people. Though I do believe like a lot of us are. A lot of us have narcissistic traits, and we can be egocentrical sometimes. I do think that it's okay as long as you are self-aware and you are actually like reflecting on that and working on that. Because I certainly do have some qualities like that that are definitely hurtful to me, not to anyone else. Because despite all my traits, I am self-aware, and I do not, like, I do care about like not hurting other people. So, you know, anyways, back to ChatGPT. I felt really sad one day. I've had a very emotional day. I felt really, I don't know if you care, it was during Venus retrograde this spring. Yeah. So I was reflecting a lot on the relationships in my life, and I have been thinking about my friendships specifically, because I did feel some type of way about them, and you know, I was thinking about different kinds of relationships in my life, and I was doing a lot of reflecting, and I'm still quite sad. I don't want to share anything extremely personal because it is very personal to me. But I did lay it out to ChatGPT, and I said that I feel extremely hurt and sad about following things. Because I also felt a lot of guilt and shame, yes, to go watch my videos about those topics. But I did feel a lot of emotions regarding feeling some other emotions. So a lot of secondary guilt and shame on top of like anger and frustration, like primary guilt and anger and frustration. So about like certain things. And I just laid it all out because I could understand that what I was feeling was completely, fair, but at the same time, it's like, I almost question yourself sometimes, like, am I actually allowed to feel how I feel? Am I asking for too much? Am I being too much? Am I just being unfair? I don't know. But that's why I also say that you should listen to your emotions and listen to your body as well. I really, really recommend that you listen to your body and feel your body when you're with different people, and see how you feel around different people, especially people that are close to you, obviously the people that you spend a lot of time with, like significant people in your life. So just do notice how you feel, because I know that I feel absolutely exhausted after talking to some people, and that's always a sign for me that I should take a break, that I should take a step back or something like that, because that's not a good sign. That means the relationship is really draining, and that it's not necessarily nourishing. It's not nourishing at all, actually. So yeah, I can't say that ChatGPT made me cry, because I didn't cry, but I was floored, to say the least, because I did get the validation that I wanted, not that I expected that, but I got such a thorough breakdown on why the way I feel is completely valid, that I have to say that I was extremely impressed with that. Impressed and terrified, because like, well, it basically confirmed what I was saying. But then again, like, what I was saying was completely based on facts. I didn't make stuff up. I did not. I didn't make anything up. I did not like imagine anything, and I also did not. I don't know. I didn't lay out things. I didn't write about things that didn't actually happen. I feel like it sounds confusing. I felt some type of way about feeling drained after talking to some people, feeling unsupported, and certain things that certain people did, in my past or in the present, whatever, that I feel hurt about, that I also understand like doesn't make any sense for me to talk to talk about with those people, because they wouldn't listen, like it wouldn't make any sense to them. So I don't, because it's completely pointless. So if anything, it might just make things worse. So I only based it wasn't a complaint necessarily. I laid out the facts. Of something that actually happened or is happening, and I talked about my feelings. I recommend you do that, actually. I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm not the person to do like image generators or do all those kind of like AI things. I am, of course I'm being cautious around AI. But I feel like when it comes to things like this, ChatGPT, or like generally AI, whatever you use, actually can be extremely helpful, because it takes your problem and kind of looks at it logically and breaks it down into like it can validate you. I don't know. um I've obviously seen people complain about how like it just purely validates you, but then again, like I feel like you should learn to validate yourself. Obviously, that's an important thing, but I am recommending this as a tool if you are genuinely a mindful person who is prone to self-reflection. So you know what I mean. Like we're kind of, we cannot cater to everyone, and I'm kind of assuming that you're a sane person, basically. Yes, this is extremely validating, and also it can be really disappointing in the way that like things are actually so much worse than I thought, because I did genuinely realize that I have been tolerating things that I really shouldn't have been. Really shouldn't have tolerated. And I kind of feel like that's supposed to be a whole other video. I'll make another video, multiple videos actually, probably, on these kind of topics, like relationships and specifically friendships. Yeah. Interesting. Anyways, I did get what felt like a whole breakdown of my situation and a complete, like a very full analysis of what happened and how what I feel is completely valid, and it would be even more valid for me to feel even more upset. And it makes sense why I'm upset about this, because it's not normal. Because it's also hard to understand what's normal and what's not when you are logically kind of like, when you're used to something, when you are, have been around certain people for a really long time, and like for your whole life, for example, and that's all you know. And then you understand that certain things are not the norm, like you feel bad about that. But at the same time, you have guilt around feeling that way, because like, well, these are not bad people, obviously, but why do I feel like this? Why do I feel like this, so yeah. But this has been a very a groundbreaking spring for me. Blocked a few people, it was nice. So very productive. But anyways, that's kind of all I wanted to talk to you about today. Do let me know if you've ever tried this, or if you're interested, and if you have tried it, how did it go? I am very curious, because I have only seen really, really positive responses for people regarding that who actually tried it so far. Yeah, because the people who criticized it mostly, I don't think they used it at all. So if you did try it, please tell me how it went, because I'm very curious. If you have been thinking about it, do give it a try. I don't think you have to necessarily share anything too personal if you are uncomfortable with that, but the response might shock you. You might feel very supported and very validated, and it can also give you good advice. I'm not even kidding. Like, yeah. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you found it helpful or at the very least entertaining. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you in the next one.